Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope everything is good and grand and wonderful. Today I want to share something with you that I received in the mail, which is a very strange place to receive things. But I got a letter from a man that I've never met and who has never met me. And it came to my P.O. box, which I find strange. Maybe he's seen some of my YouTube videos and decided to email or decided to send me a letter. I find that hard to believe, but maybe that's how it happened. I'll get to that in a second. I'm sharing this with you not because I agree with the message or... I'm sharing it with you partly because I don't agree with it. And I think that's all the reason for me to be even more helpful towards him. Okay, let's just push all this aside. The man's name is John Elliott. John Elliott is a musician. He is a solo folk artist. And I've been listening to his music for like a decade or more. It's been, I don't know, 10 or 15 years I've been listening to his music. And I have purchased music from him in the past that he has shipped personally to me. But again, I don't think it came to my P.O. box, so I'm not sure how he got the P.O. box. John, if you're watching, neat. That amazes me. His name is John Elliott, and he had a group called The Hereafter. His website is thehereafterishere.com. I don't know that he goes under that name anymore. He just produces music under John Elliott. Very folk, independent, man in a guitar singing songs. And so I was really shocked to get this letter in the mail, addressed to me, Chevee Dodd, at P.O. Box 8023, handwritten by John. Because I didn't order anything. I thought maybe this was like a continuation of a CD I bought a few years ago, but again, don't think he had that address. But I want to read you the opening part of this, and it says, Chevee, my mom and I have been exchanging political text messages for the last while, and something she wrote struck me. She said, do you have any conservative people in your world besides me? And the quick answer is no. Now, if you don't know anything about John Elliott, he lives in San Francisco, California, which is probably maybe the most liberal city on the planet, and he's a conservative. And so he's decided that he's going to do something about that. He's going to try to make a change. And he's going to do that by doing a Freedom Tour 2020. And his Freedom Tour 2020, the redder the better, John wants to basically bike and or I think train that follows historically significant routes from like Maine down, I guess, through my area, kind of to Tennessee. I'm not quite sure. I didn't pay a whole lot of attention. The Lewis Cart Trail, the Appalachian Trail, that sort of stuff. Underground Railroad. He's gonna set out to perform in red states and red districts and red counties, and he wants to make as many connections as possible. He wants to not just go perform in a city, but he also wants to attend council meetings and talk to the people there and find out what makes them tick and kind of meet other conservatives. And I thought, that's really fun. He says, I will perform only in counties and states that voted red in 2016. The redder, the better. I will spend my time in each place long enough to meet people. I will go to city council meetings. I will seek connections with people who do not look like me. I will document this journey on social media and on my monthly podcast, Audiodes. I haven't heard that. And basically this is a fundraiser. He's asking for money to help do this because his goal is to make this tour happen and be able to play wherever he is invited to play he wants to play in places that can't afford to pay him. Let's put it that way. He wants to be a bard, essentially, and doing some sort of conservative tour. And while I'm not conservative, I don't identify as conservative, I don't identify as liberal either. I'm a pretty moderate, I think, person. I do lean towards liberal. I'm kind of okay with social programs. There's quite a few that I would like to see happen, but I'm not a conservative by any stretch of the imagination. John does identify as a conservative, and so he wants to he wants you to kind of help fund this thing. And I think that's really interesting. And I think that's the reason why I'm okay with sharing the message. Not because I know John Elliott from his music and I'm a fan or anything like that. It has to do with the idea of, I believe in the democratic system. I believe that no matter what I think is right, us as a whole get to choose what's right for us. And if you are a conservative, or if you live along John's route, from New York down to Florida or Alabama or wherever he's headed, if you would like to see that John succeed in this adventure, send him some cash. He's asking that you PayPal him, paypal.me/freedomtour2020, or you can Venmo him at freedomtour2020. And he says that if you contribute $10 or more, you'll receive a link to an album he called Collaboration, which has a whole bunch of collaboration songs on it that he did with other people. And I think it's a really fun, exciting thing. Like I said, he wants to fund the expedition because he says, I would like to be able to accept any and all invitations to perform regardless of the financial situation. I will be cycling through Wounded Knee, South Dakota, and I would love to play there where the medium income is $7,292. I don't want to ask them for money. I agree. And I think this is something seriously worth considering. I'm going to throw John some money, if nothing more than I want the music. I loved everything he's ever written. So it means something to me. It also means something to me that we're nearing 2020, and this man wrote it's a form letter, but it's got his actual signature. It's got my name on it. It's got our names and addresses handwritten on the envelope. This guy he's doing the thing that he's taking action, which is, I think, a lot more than most of us can say. And that's really remarkable. So support him if you feel like it. I will put links in the video description and probably the top comment if you want to go throw $10 John's way and listen to some cool music. Check out his other albums. Like I said, I have personally purchased stuff from him that is not in print. I think they were all self-produced albums, and he has burned CDs and emailed them or sent them to me. That was decades ago, or a decade ago. I don't know, it was a long time ago. But I wanted to share this. It came to my mailbox in October. That tells you how much I don't pay attention to my P.O. box. I used to pay attention to it more when I promoted it and talked about it. But, oh well. Cool. Freedom Tour 2020. Look it up. Support him. Thank you for being here, as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends, being wonderful people. I appreciate you, and I will see you tomorrow. Alexa, tell me a random fact.
Air Force One isn't a specific plane. It's just whichever plane is currently carrying the U.S. president. One of the very first was a VC-54C nicknamed Sacred Cow.
So are there a fleet of these things that are all equipped the same?